Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. We kick off the graded stakes portion of the fantastic Fountain of Youth Saturday program at Gulfstream Park with race number 3. It's the Canadian Turf. We're going a mile and a 16th. $150,000 is the purse. And as we take a look at this field, we have an emerging star in the middle distance turf division. That's the number 2, Never Surprised, who finished second behind arguably the divisional leader, Colonel Liam, in the Pegasus World Cup last time out. And Mike, this horse has run very, very well in his last few starts.
Yeah, it seems like he's got a lot of ability, Dan. We probably haven't even seen his best race yet. And listen, at the end of the day, this is pretty significant class relief off of his most recent start.
One of his great advantages is his early speed. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector, and Timeform US believes that he'll make the lead. Sigiloso is a quick horse. He's been on the lead in his last 2 races. Noble Indy used to have a little bit of speed. Clear Vision went gate to wire 2 starts back, but I would be surprised if Never Surprised isn't up front.
He's just faster than these horses early, Dan. I mean, it feels like there's no way they're going to keep him from the lead in here unless, I guess, somebody just goes on a dead send. Even his most recent start, unfortunately, for whatever reason, you can't get fractions for a grade $1 million race. But when you go back and watch the Pegasus World Cup Turf, that was a pretty quick pace. He had to go from the outside just to make the lead, and he was moving right along up there. He still lasted for second.
Sigiloso faced Never Surprised 3 starts back in the Tropical Park Derby, and he didn't break very well. Maybe that was one of the reasons why he wasn't as close to the pace as he was in his 2 subsequent races, including this race, an optional claiming event at Gulfstream at this distance on February the 12th. And Sigiloso made the lead in here, and he's game down to the wire, but the horse that beat him, Highest Honors, while a nice horse, is not at the level of Never Surprised.
Right, and this is Highest Honor's first ever turf start as well. No excuse here for Sigiloso. He got the trip he wanted. He was only second best at the end. Not that it was a terrible performance, Dan, but it's not one that makes him competitive in here.
The 2, Never Surprised, will be heavily favored, and deservedly so for Todd Pletcher. He's run 8 times, 4 wins, 4 seconds. Let's watch the Pegasus World Cup, a race where Mike said he went fast in the early part of this race. He turns for home with the lead, and it takes his stablemate, a very good horse in Colonel Liam, to run him down. A really promising effort against top flight horses.
Yeah, he ran well in here, and you can see he's a little tired at the end of this race, Dan, but deservedly so. And while he's no match for Colonel Liam, he is going to hold off a bunch of closers for second, going 9 furlongs as well. That was a good performance. The slight cutback works for him here. The class relief works for him here. He's going to be an extremely short price, but he's also way the horse to beat.
A horse that's hoping that maybe Never Surprised takes some surprising pace heat is the 3 English B, a horse that has the tactical speed to work out his own trip. He was 3rd in the Fort Lauderdale 2 starts back at Gulfstream, a race in which he was wired. They kind of ran 1, 2, 3 around the track, however, so maybe if you want to give him an excuse that just no one was coming back to the leaders that day. Last time out at Tampa, again, a good trip, just couldn't punch it in, and that's been the story of his career, a lot of minor awards.
Yeah, I think what you like about him is that he's really tactical and he's really consistent. So you can just sort of see him getting a good trip in this race. He also doesn't win all that often. It feels like he's certainly a cut below, top class horses. And whether or not you think this race is full of top class horses, certainly Never Surprised could be one of those. I could use him underneath Dan. I couldn't use him on top.
The number 4, Mira Mission, has won his last 2 turf starts, and he beat Sigiloso at Saratoga over the summer. Let's watch his most recent race, moving from synthetic turf at Gulfstream on January the 15th. And again, a situation where he showed tactical speed to stay within range. He attacks on the outside, and he guts it out. The 4th place finisher would come back to run second on synthetic with a 91 buyer.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a pretty big test for Mira Mission. I like this horse, though. He's got a little bit of talent. He's another one who's got pretty nice tactical speed as well. So I feel like he can get a good trip in this race. I don't know if he's going to be able to, crack the top three in here necessarily, but maybe he can, Dan. I still feel like there's forward to go for him. He's probably going to be a fair price. He was one of the horses I wanted to use underneath the favorite.
A lot of ups and downs in the career of the number 5, Noble Indy, who's bankrolled $880,000 in his career. Heck, he won the Louisiana Derby as a 3-year-old in 2018, and then he sort of transferred himself into a speedy middle distance horse that might have been just a little bit less than great in stakes class. They dropped him in for 35 last time out in a synthetic race he was taking. Let's watch that race. He just didn't really fire in here. There wasn't a lot of pace. He didn't have to like the synthetic surface, and he plodded on for third as the beaten favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just based off of his 2 most recent starts, which were both off of a layoff, I'm happy to give him the excuse of the surface, Dan. It just doesn't feel like he's as good on the Tapeta as he is on the turf. He's run some good races on turf, and when he's right, he's got really good speed. So I suppose he could be a forward factor in this race. I still don't think he's good enough to beat this field.
Connections have done a great job with the 6, Clear Vision. They took this horse for $25,000. They got him a second in the Claiming Crown Emerald. They got him a gate to wire win in the Grade 3 Tropical Turf 2 starts back. Maybe he was exposed just a little bit in the Tampa Bay in his most recent start. The issue with this horse, and I kind of like this horse a little bit in the form he's in, is that his running style just is very similar to that of the favorite. So if he tries to make the lead, he could get burned out. And if he doesn't try to make the lead, he may not be utilizing his best style.
That was my concern with him too, Dan. I have no knocks on his recent form. It's very good. And this is a horse who had some back class too, so it's not like he improved out of nowhere. But it's pretty obvious when you start going through his recent races. They're all the good ones are when he's right up there on the pace, and most of the time those paces are not fast. They're going to go faster in here, and I think it really works against him. You can go back to the 25 claimer back at Saratoga at the end of July last summer, where he rallied from out of it, and I guess he ran fine that day, but he also hung very badly.
Mouliage completes the field. This horse will be making his North American debut for trainer Chad Brown. Won a little stakes race in France last time out, beat one next out winner, went through the ARC sale and was a buyback for $318,000, likely a private purchase after that race. Now, he wasn't facing the top flight horses in France, but even those French listed stakes are pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably true. And I guess I would just argue that he's probably a decent fit in this race. It just sort of feels like, then, if you're going to try to beat the favorite in here, this is where most people are going to go for the alternative. That may turn out to be the right way to play this race, Dan, because he has shown some talent. I don't know. I still feel like it's a pretty big ask for this horse. First start in this country, first off the layoff, to have to go against Never Surprised.
We'll take a look at our top picks for this race, and Never Surprised is Way the horse to beat, and that's where you're going to go. And I'd use him as my majority A in any kind of multiple race wagers. I'm just a little bit interested to see what we get from Clear Vision, maybe even not on the win end, maybe to at least complete the exacta. Like you, Mike, I think the 7's going to take a lot of money in this race.
I just feel like he's got to be the alternative for most people who are going to take a shot against the favorite here. Personally, I didn't want to take a shot against the favorite.
2, 7, 4, and 3. Never Surprised, Way the horse to beat. Clear Vision, small stab against 6, 2, 3, and 4. It's the Grade 3 Canadian Turf on a Super Saturday of racing at Gulfstream. Good luck.